Right, just do a quick mic check. Got a few people with us already. Nice one, Robbo. Thanks for letting us know. Right then, penultimate race of the season, and it's going to be a wet one at Autopolis. So this is, like we said, race 7 out of 8. So the championship standings are getting pretty tight at the top. So we're going to just quickly run through just the top few with you to see how things were leading into this race. In first place was Schalke Boss, and in second place was Ahmad's. Only a few points between these guys, separating them in the top 2 positions, and then a few more positions behind. We've got Kieran in the McLaren, about what are we on? About 20 or so points behind. So with 2 races to go, the top 3, it's anyone's game. It could all change. Definitely depends how this race goes, really, to shape up what the final race will be like. So we'll go through our qualifying for this race, and we'll see how people stack up for it. So we're starting from the back. In 16th position, we have got Abmo with it didn't even set a time, actually. So either perhaps suffering from a quali ban, or maybe just thought better of it and didn't do a qualifying lap. Then a surprise. In 15th place, we have our championship leader with 2-minute 2. So not enjoying the Ferrari in the wet conditions of this track, which really surprises me, actually, because I would have thought this would be the meta car for this track. So then in 14th place, we've got Young Sappi in the Huracan with a 2-minute 1.9. So only just beating the Ferrari driver behind. Then in 13th place, we've got Kova in the little 4C, still doing a good job with that. And his time was, what have we got? A 2-minute 0.5 seconds. Then in 12th place, Juho comes across just 1/10 ahead of him with a 2-minute 0.4 flat. So just missing out on the sub 2-minute times. Then we've got in 11th place Reese, and I think this must be a first-time driver for Reese. No, don't recall seeing this car or his name. So if this is his debut for the Tier 5 Blue with ALR, welcome along. So not a bad start, really. The Porsche, as far as I'm concerned, is a lethal weapon. I cannot drive them, but there you go. So he's done well getting up into 11th. Then we're into the top 10 now. So we have got an Audi, and it is from Tomo with a 157.3. And in 9th place, just ahead of him in the first of the McLarens, is Kieran, our 3rd place championship driver at the minute, with a 157.2. I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here. I can't see anything. Now we're coming up to the top 8 drivers. In 8th place, we've got Doc in the fantastic looking FT1 with a time of 156.9. Then in 7th place, in the old 911, is Bracy with a 156.1. That's getting quick. So doing really well in the old Porsche. Still got some game to go. Now we're up into 6th place in the second of the 458 Italias. It is Munken with a 155.8. And up into 5th. An amazing job getting up into 5th place for quali is Robbo with a 155.7. Then jumping up into 4th position in the other FT1, looking very nice as well, is Phil with 154.8. Now, finally, to our top 3. We have got championship contender Ahmad's is in 3rd place in the V12 Vantage with a 154.7. In 2nd place with an absolutely stonking time is Chaos Druid of a 154.6, and narrowly beating him, just 0.03 of a second, is our pole sitter, Mr. Hadir, with a 154.5. So that's our lineup. We got the settings for this race, so depending on which lobby you run, it did change a little bit. So we did see some sprints a little bit wetter than others. So let's jump out of this one and we will get into the race and see what happens at turn 1. We've got 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4, 5. Nobody does a jump start. We're all off to a good start, and it looks like Chaos has got the best start already. All the spray, if you're at the back, you're not going to be able to see a single thing. Who's going to miss their braking points? It doesn't look like anyone's done it so far. We'll just drop back and see if anything happens. Everyone seems to have done an absolutely brilliant job. Doc going just a little bit wide, getting his wheel on the mud, and we can see it. Amo right at the back, deciding to just completely stay out of the way of everybody, just letting people fight it out amongst themselves. And we can see Hadir's managed to get that place back, so let's just quickly jump back and see how that one happened as well. A little bit further again. So we're coming into the first corner. Druid just gets an absolutely brilliant launch. OEC gets a little bit of a bump in the back from Ahmad, just manages to push him forwards just a tiny amount, enough to get that position back, so he's not going to be complaining too much about that one, I shouldn't imagine. Now Chaos on the more optimal line, look as he closes the gap up massively coming through into the first complex section. Oh, as Ahmad goes absolutely flying off. Let's just jump back, because it looked like he was about to make a move on Chaos around the outside. Comes in for the switchback here. Looks like he's going to have this one nicely done. Oh, there's just a little bit of contact. Gets onto the mud and spins himself, as Phil does the same thing as well. How did he do that one? Where is Phil? There we go. Let's just drop back and see what happened here. So we see Ahmad goes off. Phil just seems to follow him through. And then you've got Reese as well. Maybe there was a bit of contact from Reese, but Reese is waiting up as well. So let's just jump back on board with Reese, see what we can see. Oh, he does. He goes into the back of Phil as well. That is unfortunate for him. Just misjudging the braking zones in the wet. Not able to make it stick. He's got the right line. Oh, and that's it. We can see Phil chooses a different line, brakes right in front of him. Not exactly where Reese is expecting, and that really does send him back. And now we've got Tomo all the back as well. So what's happened to Tomo? Has he got caught up in all of this as well? So you can see he's losing a lot of positions. He's not happy. He's braking very early, very conservative racing, as Robbo's all the way down into 13th now. Oh, and he gets bumped as well, and that sends him round, and it's terrible for him. Oh, it's so disappointing for Tomo. He could have done a lot better out of that, and now we're just going to have to jump on board with Robbo as well, because he started so well up in 5th place, and he's already down in 9th. So what did we, coming off the line, the Ferrari, not the best off from the standing start, but seeming to do pretty good in the wet. All being said, he's still just about holding his position, gets a few clouts on the outside, but that's not going to be too bad for him. Struggling to put the power down a little bit. And then we've got Bracey muscling his way through as well. He's just not able to put the power down. The intermediate tyre as well should still be working on this. Looks like Robbo's getting a little bit nervous with all the traffic flying around. And you can't really blame him too much for that. But he gets back up to 9th place with everybody else going off as well. I know when he gets a tap up the back from young Sappi as well. He's lagging around just a little bit. It's going to make it difficult to overtake and defend when you're not too sure what someone's doing. Now you can see a dry line starting to appear. It's always he gets bump drafted again from young Sappi. Kieran not quite on the line, and with the intermediate tyre, as soon as it gets too deep, it's just not going to have as much grip or ability to accelerate you out the corner as much. So Robbo's back up into 8th place now, and he lost a few positions out of that whole thing in the end. So we'll go back up and see where everybody else is. Juho's now in 7th, Bracey's in 6th place, Kova's up into 5th, so this is a great start to the sprint for Kova. Doc's got up into 4th place, with Munken also inheriting a position up into 3rd. Chaos still hanging on to that 2nd position. The intermediate looks like it's just starting to have to work a little bit too hard now. And Hadir also doing a very good job at the front, managing to get a little bit of a gap. We can jump back with these guys here who've got the battle for 3rd is incredibly tight. Well, 2nd place in fact, really. So Kaod takes the inside line, defends hard coming into turn 1. Munken though on the outside might have that one done. He does. He gets that position. He's got Chaos has got Doc as well to try and defend as well. The outside line probably offering a little bit more grip than the inside for Chaos. So Chaos loses out the most out of that, losing 2 positions in just as many corners. Hanging it around the outside. Now he's got Bracey. Oh, he's not going to get any grip out on the grass, mate. You've got to keep it tighter than that. Defending hard against Bracey now. And Kova's going to be close behind as well. Kova is definitely a bit of a dark horse in that Alpha. He's always got the pace to be able to close the gap to the front runners. So Hadir has managed to benefit from all the squabbling a little bit further behind, as he's got quite a cut. I wouldn't say too comfortable, but he's got a small gap enough that he doesn't have to keep looking in his mirrors too much. And then that little battle with Bracey has also given Doc and Munken a little bit of, breathing space, but it looks like Chaos has managed to close that gap back up again already. Bracey is very quick on his heels though, so there's literally no time to rest. You'll see all these guys on the at the front, they're on the intermediates. We've got Bracey and Kova both on the wets. Will start to struggle in this middle part of the race as the track starts to dry. So it's very similar in our tier as well. In fact, I think I may have been the only wet runner in tier 3, and it definitely was difficult. So Robbo's managed to make his way back up to 7th place now. This is a good recovery drive from him. Also set in a purple sector, so he's on a fast one. Currently our fastest lap is a 1:58.5 from our race leader. With all that clean air in front of him and no battling, you would expect that. Then we've got Juho in 8th, Kieran in 9th. Young Sappi's worked his way up to 10th place. Abmo has also worked his way back up to 11th. 12th is Armaz, recovering from his spin earlier on, up to 12th so far. He will be desperate to try and get, if nowhere else, at least into the top 10, as he goes for a brilliant move on the hairpin, sticks it to the inside. It's an almost dry track though. You could practically use slicks for this. But will we, in fact, does it stay dry enough for long enough? Will we see anybody make the move, come in for dry tyres. By lap 5 is about when it started raining again, as heavy rain was scripted to happen. Then we've got Abmo in 12th now. Reese has gotten back up to 13th. Shorka having an absolutely terrible race so far. Also on the wet tyre, down in 14th place. This is not going to be good for him at all for his overall standings. He needs to get up to a higher temperature. We've got some people in. We've got Kova and Phil. Now the pit lane is wet, but what are they going to go for? Are they going to go for slicks or are they going for wets? It looks like they might be going for slicks. No, they're not. They're going for intermediates. The Kova goes for inters. Phil looked like he might have put a bit of fuel on accidentally there. And he's coming out on softs. We've got a brave man coming out on softs. Could this potentially be a mistake? I mean, he's going to have he's going to have to put some serious lap times in to get caught up with everybody if it starts raining again, or even if it doesn't start raining again. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. But you can see how dry the track is. There's parts of it that aren't even showing any moisture, so this could be an inspired move. We've got Hadir at the front, practically a country mile ahead of him now, going a little bit wide. The tyres starting to struggle. You can see the wear on them as well now. Perhaps not as much as some of those on the wet tyres. They are wearing out just a little bit more. But will we see him come into the pits for the soft tyre as well? Going for the slick. Running wide. Excuse me. Oh, he's going to mow the lawn, but he misses the pit entry, sorry. So he's hanging it out. Going onto the wet side of the track just to try and keep the cool the tyres down, as is everybody else. Druid now back up into second place. So what are we... Let's just jump back here and just try and see what happened to these guys. As the fight for second position hots back up again. I believe the first two guys were on the wet tyres. That's correct. So Druid now definitely will have the tyre advantage over these two people. Currently in second and third, although the pair of them are almost teaming up together to block the way, but Munkin gets through against Doc. That allows Druid through up into third, but now Druid's just got the huge overspeed, gets back up into second place. He's got the grip with the intermediate tyre. You can see Munkin just sliding around all over the place, not able to put the power down with the wet tyre, scrapping for any little bit of wet surface on the tarmac. Try and stop the wet tyre from overheating, and Chaos now is absolutely... Look at the gap he's pulled away already, just in a few corners. Munkin's just drifting wide, can't seem to keep it on the track. Doc's not doing much better behind him as well. Now we've got Robbo and Kieran both on the intermediate tyres, looking to try and close that gap. Robbo's done a brilliant recovery here, all the way back up into fifth, where he started the race. Able to cut a lot more of the track. No Druid, I'm not doing ACC tonight. I've got these two races, or this race, and I've got the final race at Yas Marina to catch up on. So I just want to get these ones out of the way, and then I will be doing ACC for the rest of the ACC season, which I think is only 2 or 3 more races anyway. But yeah, I'll be doing that, and all being well, if I can get my crap together, then may even be able to join you. But currently I'm very, very slow at ACC, so I'm not hoping too much, so it might just be a season of comms next time round. But you're doing very well so far in this race, mate. So kudos for that one. Okay, so let's just jump back and see how Phil's getting on at the back, how he's managed to close the gap. He has closed that gap up, but he's still not able to close, or he's not really putting the right amount of time down. As we see, the wipers are going, the track's getting wet again, his softs are going to be done. He's going to have to come into the pits again at the end of this lap. It could have been an inspired move, but it unfortunately wasn't for Phil. And you can see the damage on the front of his car. He's going to be tiptoeing round only just over the first marker, or the third full on the water meter. Just about get away with it. Not if you go on the curves like that, you won't. He's doing a good job keeping it pointing in the right direction. But we're going to have to see him come in again, or as it starts getting wetter and he's really struggling to get that car turned now. Oh, as there he goes. And he's off, and the cameraman has given up as well. Can't be bothered. So we'll give Phil some privacy so he can limp it back to the pits. Tomo is still at the back, but he's on the wet tyre, so he's going to be on the right tyre for the rest of this race. He might be able to close it back a bit more to Kova, and Kova's gone back to 14th place. That's because he pitted. Yep. So he's gone to the intermediate tyre. If it starts raining any heavier than this, he will be regretting that choice, although it really did seem to be suffering on the wet tyre for him during the dry stint. Definitely a lot drier than we had it in Tier 3. And definitely a lot drier than it seems a lot of other people had in their races as well. But this is now where we'll see perhaps some of the wet tyre drivers coming back through the grid to get some positions back. So we've got Admo in 13th, up a few places. Having a bit of a quiet drive, but I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Then we've got Juho in 12th now on the wet tyre. Young Sappi in 11th, also on the wet tyre. So we're going to see both these guys, I imagine, start to make a little bit of their way through the grid. We've got Shorka, who's managed to make his way up into 10th, so that's good for him. That's reverse grid pole. This is exactly what he needs. He needs at least to stay in 10th to help him out for the feature, to get some points back. But any more positions forward that he can get on this this sprint race, he's only ever going to benefit from. It's more about damage limitation at this point for him. Then we've got Reese in the new 992, and look at the wet tyre, the difference between them. Shork has managed to look after his tyres so much better than Reese has, both on the same compound. But hopefully, now the rain has come in and it will be keeping the tyres cool. It shouldn't wear out any more than they have already, but maybe the damage has already been done to the amount of grip that he's got. Ahmads has managed to recover up into 8th place now. You can see the front wheels of that heavy-engined Aston Martin have definitely taken their toll on the wets, but remarkably good considering, especially compared to the Porsche just behind him. Then we've got Munken up in 7th, pretty well evenly worn tyres. Oh, as Bracey goes a little bit, what happened there? That looked like there was a right bit of, oh, we've got someone off in the background there. Oh, Robbo. Boy, it didn't look like you were going off, but then you did go off. Oh, that is so disappointing. All the way back down to 12th now. Let's just rewind that and see what happened, because that was incredibly unfortunate. You can see Bracey coming right up behind him. So, oh, he just gets clouted into the sign by Munken. and he doesn't even wait. Let's just jump back with Monk and see what happens here. So Monken's going left, just runs straight into the side of him, gives him an extra tap just for good measure, puts him in the wall, and see you later. Well, maybe that one went to the stewards, who knows. So that's a disappointing, that's pretty much the end of the race for Robbo now, because we've only got a couple of laps left and he's not going to get all the way back up to 5th again. But the whole point of that was actually to see what was going on with Bracy and Doc. So here we go. Oh, you left it. Wow. Fair enough. I can't read the comments and watch the thing. So, right, I'm going to jump on board with him. Coming through here. So Bracy's right behind Robbo. He wants the position. Bracy's got Doc chomping at the bit though. Now using the slipstream, he goes for the dummy. Oh, I see. So Doc looked like he was going to dive into the inside. Just as Bracy was coming through. Bracy doesn't want to give up that position. But someone's gone off a little bit further ahead, or something happened at least to get a yellow flag out. Fortunately, no one gets a 3-second penalty for any overtakes under that. The rest of your race, Robert. I mean, you're already, where are you now? So you're down in 12th. I hope it doesn't get any worse. We'll keep an eye out, yeah? We've got Kova down in 13th, probably regretting his pit strategy change to the intermediates. He has managed to close the gap a little bit, but now we will be struggling as the Inters start to struggle in the deeper water sections. Juho on the wets behind, struggling a little bit, not able to put the power down. Then we've got Tomo in 15th, and Phil is still on the softs. He's a couple of laps down. Is he still on the same lap? I feel like it was that corner that he went off at earlier when we left him. Did he miss the pits and then just had to go around again? I mean, he's crawling around this time, so I can't imagine he's not gonna go in the pits. Oh, thank goodness, he goes in the pits. Oh, oh no! Oh dear, he comes in the pits. He's got absolutely no grip. He goes to brake and it just doesn't. Oh no! It doesn't do a thing. That is just salt on the wound, isn't it? Poor old Phil. Sorry to laugh. If you didn't laugh, you'd cry. So yeah, Nadir's having a really good race by himself out in the front, managing really well. Made all the right tyre choices and things so far, as most of the Inter's runners will be struggling just as he is, so it kind of neutralises the gap a little bit, and I think he's got enough of a gap to anyone on the wets that he's not going to have to worry. And the R8 does seem to be the most dominant car at this track with this combination of weather as well. Taking a lovely line through there with the 205.2. About what you'd expect with the heavy rain. Then we've got, well, let's get back to the cinematic view. A bit more interesting to look at. Chaos now in second position. I think, is this potentially Chaos's best finish of the season? Second place podium. This is an absolutely brilliant drive from him. He's got just as much of a gap behind him, or if not more, to Kieran, his teammate, in third place. So this is brilliant for the McLaren Constructors Championship. We'll have to review that one at the end of the races as well, just to see what the Constructors is like. I remember it being quite close between, well, all 3-4 of them, I think, at the top. Then we've got Doc, who is in fourth, got a bit of a train behind him. The Toyota has not been quite so kind to him on the tyre front, but Armaz has recovered all the way back up into fifth now. Tyre wear only marginally better than Doc in front, so we'll just stick on with him as we're coming through. This is the final lap. Will he be able to make a move in any of these last few corners? Closes the gap. It's through the slower section of the track. He absolutely has, Robbo. That is quite the recovery drive, and in wet conditions as well. But I'm sure there's been a few mistakes from others that have gifted him a few positions as well. But he has definitely outdriven himself, as we're going to jump back just a little bit, and we're going to jump back to our race leader, who has played this absolutely faultlessly right from the beginning, start to finish, comes across the line in first. Then we've got a fantastic result for Chaos in second place for the McLaren team, and his teammate follows him, celebrates across the line in third place for Kieran. Doc gets fourth, Armaz is in fifth, Bracey gets sixth, a good result for the Porsche driver. Then we've got the Ferrari 458 of Monken in seventh place. Reese comes across for his debut race in eighth place. Boss manages to get up into ninth above Kova, who finally finishes in 10th place. Not bad considering he pitted. Then Young Sappy is in 11th, Juho gets 12th, Abmo gets 13th, good for him as well because he started last place. Tomo gets 14th, Robbo comes across the line in 15th. It did go from bad to worse. And then we've got Phil, finally gives in, gets the wet tyre on. He's a lap down. He will be kicking himself, but there's lots of lessons learned, so we'll just help him along. There we go. Oh, and he got timed out as well. That's a disappointment, isn't it? So there we go. That's the sprint race. So we've got another full wet one to look forward to. Good evening, Sappy. Got to be quick here so we don't see what the result is. A little sip on my cup of tea as well. Okay. Right, let's get this stuff up. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream, to give it a like. There seems to be somewhat a bit of a competition at the minute to get the most likes for your stream. So don't forget to tell everyone else. And that's it. Yep, that's all good. Okay, right, let's run through our list of drivers. So we've got Abmo in last place again. I think that was serving a quali ban, wasn't it? So he gets last place in both races, which is unfortunate, but he'll be on the wet tyre. I think we'll probably see most of these guys on the wet tyre. But the big question is whether or not we will see anyone doing the no stop. It can be done, but it is tight. So we'll see how many people manage that one. So we've got Amo in 16th on the wet tyres. Then we've got Phil in 15th, also on the wets. He's definitely going to have learned some valuable lessons driving that Toyota that he's going to bring to the feature race. Then we've got Robbo on the wets in 14th. Tomo's on the wets in 13th. In fact, let's just say that everyone's on the wets unless we say otherwise. Jiho is in 12th. Young Sappi's in 11th. Our winner of the sprint race, Hadir, is in 10th now. Then we've got Druid in 9th. Kieran is in 8th place. Doc makes 7th place as well. Ahmad is up into 6th place. So this is good for him in that he doesn't have quite so many positions to recover from to try and fight for the championship lead as well. Then we've got Bracey in 5th place. Munkin is in 4th. Reese has a good start in 3rd, so there's a lot to prove here for him in 3rd. Then Shulker will be happy with a 2nd place start as well. And Kova gets the pole position. And well, that could be. I think Kova could do this. I think that Kova definitely has pace, and I think he's definitely going to give Shulker a run for his money through here in wet conditions. So everyone's on the wet tyres. Let's see how good everyone is on fuel and driving in the wet for the 2nd time round in the same evening. So we're coming across for the rolling start. Currently bucketing down. And the acceleration on the Ferrari is already allowing Shulker to catch up, as he looks like he's going to go for the inside. He doesn't quite go for the move. Kova gets a little bit laggy. Reese, however, has managed to close up the gap very nicely behind it. Oh, we've got someone off already. Who was this? Someone round here, I think. Was it Ahmad's? Who was it? How did... I swear something just went off. Right. Let's try again. Oh, so it was one of the Audi drivers. There you go, it was Tomo, wasn't it? So let's jump back on board with him. Let's just see what happens. Does he get pushed wide? No, it wasn't him. It was Hadir. Our winner from the sprint race has managed to make a mistake. But how did it happen? So he comes through here. He's still got plenty of room. Oh, he just goes super wide. I mean, there might have been a bit of contact there, but it didn't seem like there was. So, bit of netcode at play there, but that is so disappointing for him. He did so well in the sprint, and now he's got a whole grid to try and get back through to make it. He's on the wet tyre. You can already see the track is starting to dry out. There's a dry line appearing on the course. Oh, that is just so disappointing for him. And now at the other end of the field, Kova is pulling away from Shulker. Making the absolute most of the clear air in front of him. Shulker's got Reese very close behind him. Constant little taps here and there. And Reese looks to try and go around the outside. Is he going to get the move done? He does. It's an absolutely brilliant overtake. We're going to have to jump on board and just see that one again. Well, missed it already. And again. There we go. So Reese comes down, brakes late to the outside. He's definitely got a bit more grip on the outside of the track, off the racing line. Gets the move done. Oh, he's quite laggy. But that was a brilliant overtake. And now Shulker is going to have Ahmad's breathing down his neck as well. His championship rival. Can his teammate Munkin do him an absolute solid here and keep Armads behind. Armads has got Bracy and Doc and Kieran and they've got everybody behind them. There's a huge train of people now. Make a single mistake here and you are going to be at the back of the grid. Now we can see Doc looks like he's going to have a go in the more powerful and more aerodynamic Toyota, as we see. Oh, there's a little bit of contact from Bracy. These guys were, I think it was these guys, they were fighting a little bit through the sprint race as well. Kieran wisely backs off just a little bit, but he can't do it too much because he's got Sappy right behind him as well. So these guys all extremely close. Bit of battling. Oh, young Sappy goes for an absolutely brilliant dive down the inside. And he gets the move done against Kieran. That is, let's jump back and just watch this one again as well, because that was excellent. So he's coming through here. He's on the outside. Is this a cutback? You can see with the throttle inputs, he's hesitant to get it, and he gets it right the way through the inside doors. A tiny bit of contact. It didn't look like that on the outside of the car, but there you go. So he gets the move done. That was a brilliant overtake, all the same. So now we've got Doc's really pushing it. He's going wide out of the corner onto the grass, going to lose a little bit of traction, going to leave him open to young Sappy, who looks to go to the inside again. Is he going to go for another dive? Oh, and he does, and he gets contact. He hits Doc, and he doesn't wait as well. So let's just jump on with him again and see how that one looked. So Sappy gets a bump from Kieran to catch back up. Now we're going to see him. Oh, he brakes late. He's got the inside line. Oh, he doesn't turn very much, but you can also see that Doc does kind of turn in on him. He's not being quite so aware of his surroundings or his radar. Whether or not that one went to the stewards, I'm not too sure. I don't think I've actually got the what's it called? The submissions chat for this tier, actually. Yeah, it'll say yes, Avi. It's a difficult place to wait there because you're right on the apex and it's a braking zone, so everyone's bunching up at the same time. So there isn't really a lot of places that you can wait. So it's not an ideal situation. Maybe it's just a racing incident, you know. And there was also contact on the way out of the corner as well, a little bit of bumping, pushing people forwards as well. So at the end of the day, he's not lost too many places. So it's a wet race, it's going to happen. You kind of take it, you know what's going to come. Oh, as young Sappy goes a little bit wide through there as well. He's Tokyo drifting his way around this one. Is that, wrong button, there we go. So what do we see here? Coming through, so Chaos is on the inside. Doc's trying to follow through the gap as well. Runs him a little bit wide. He's on the outside. He's got the grip with the wet tyre. Gets that position done against Chaos, or defends that position against him. Now he's a bit wide. Gets the contact. That's just spins him a little bit. Another bit of contact pushes him forward. Drifts his way through the next one. Gets a little bit of contact on Doc as well. Doc's got the run up on the inside, still manages to defend the position against Chaos though. So both the McLarens now hot on his heels. Doc's power sliding it through all the corners, trying to get ahead of young Sappy to solidify that position. Now we've got Chaos dives up on the inside. does a young Sappy to young Sappy. The Minister of Defence gets the move done, back up into 7th place. Will we see young Sappy try to make a move again? Or late braking, and decides to avoid all contact by cutting the corner off. And manages to get back on the track as well in the wet like that, with everyone still behind. Only gets a half-second penalty for cutting the corner. That was pretty good driving. Good, really good car control getting through that one. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you must have shit yourself when you did it, but really good. Good bit of entertainment on that one. So he's got the penalty. Is he going to work with Kieran here, give him a little bump? He doesn't opt for it. He's going to go for the overtake, try and get that position back. He'll get the move done. Oh, as Kieran is super squirrely on the way into that, on the racing line as well, so a little bit less grip comes through. So young Sappy holds on to 9th position ahead. These guys in the middle of the pack have been battling it out. We've not really seen what's been going on at the front end to see how everyone's getting on. We can see just from the top left that Kova's still in first position, although we've now got Reese in 2nd and Armaz in 3rd. So where did Shorka get to, and how did he get there? So Shorka went all the way down to 5th, and that was over a lap ago. We'll just jump in to see what happened here. We saw this before, because said about Munken defending against Armads to protect his teammate, but it clearly didn't happen that well. So we'll just jump forward as much as we can until we see something happen. So he gets something wrong through the first complex of corners along here, unless that's a team order between them, if they have a party chat open during the races. That looked like a pretty easy move for Munkin to get through. Clearly got a bit more pace than Shorka has in these conditions. But now he's got Armads right behind him, and he will be wanting to get past as quickly as he can. We've got one of the Porsches of Bracy, I think that is, in the background, going for a little trip off into the grass. Not going to help him at all over there. So Shorka drops to 4th place through here, and you can see Armaz is closing that gap. He's all over the back of him, filling his mirrors. Who's on wet? Who's on inters? I think everybody here was on wets. We'll just run through the whole grid. Yep. I think that's just down to pure pace at the minute. So we've got our current fastest lap as well, a 1:59.9. That's pretty good going. Oh, and we missed the overtake now as well. Right, so here we go. Coming through to the last corner. They're side by side. Armads is just going to have the overspeed through here. He's got more. The grip is slightly better with the slightly drier track, and he just powers on through. The acceleration of that Aston Martin, just, I mean, the acceleration of the 458 is pretty good as well, but with the slightly drier line, worked to his advantage. And look at the gap he's pulled already over Shorka. And now we've got these guys in the background again, fighting for position Chaos versus Young Sappy versus Doc. The three of these guys, Sappy gets up into 7th place, and now Chaos is going to have the inside line as it gets contact again and pushes him round. Oh my goodness! How has Young Sappy managed to hold on to that? I'm sorry, but this is just a drifting masterclass. He comes through, gets a tap on the rear quarter, slides it way through. Druid pushes him back on track again. He power slides through the next right-hander. Hangs onto that position. He's got Doc all over on the right-hand side. Comes through, gets the position already. And somehow manages to get through all of that with only losing one position. And now he's got Druid again diving up the inside. Oh, this is the way we caught up too early, isn't it? I remember it now. So we're all back up to where we were. So now we get the quick off track moment, and we'll jump back up to where we were coming out onto the pit straight. Let's not take too long over this one, shall we, eh? It is nearly a good 45 minutes, this race. So we've got a couple of people nearer the back of the grid. Kieran's wobbling all over the place, coming into the braking zone. Then we've got Hadir now in 12th place. Juho's in 13th. Robbo is in 14th place. A bit of a gap as he goes off as well. Potentially could have had an incident or two to be that far back from the main pack as well. But then we've got his teammate Admo in 15th place, and then Bill all the way down in 16th again. Front of the Toyota looking a little bit battered. Might have also had a little off-ski. Not enjoying our wet race altogether that much. But back at the front, we have got Kova, who is running away. He's got himself a nice little lead over the fastest driver so far. Reese in his new 992. Armads is up into 3rd, so at some point Munken's lost it and gone down to 6th. But I'm sure it wasn't that interesting. But he has lost a couple of places, so Shorka's back up into 4th. Doc's right over the back of him as well, trying to get that position from the championship leader. Ozzy looks like he's going to get it done coming through the last corner. Can he hang on as he closes the door to Shorka? He's got the position done and dusted. So will we see Armads take a dive in? He's not, no, he's too far back at the moment. Sometimes these camera angles make it look like they're closer than they are. So Armads opting to go for the tighter line. Reese going for the wide line and gets a bit of grass as well. That has allowed Armads to close right up. He's going to get a position. He's got the fastest first sector of anyone so far. He's got the inside. There's a little bit of contact. Armads yields that position back. You can see Reese is definitely struggling a little bit, but somehow he has managed to absolutely close that gap up to Kova in first place. He did have quite a comfortable gap ahead, did Kova, as Reese has managed to get a position, but it just jostles back and forwards. Kova takes it back on the outside, got the grip in the wet tyre, sticks it to the outside. Reese will be trying to get the power down and he can't do it, but he has managed to get, he has done it. He's managed to get the power down and took Kova on the inside. Ozzy really pushing the limits now, getting a bit of grass. Kova is also doing the same, trying to get that position back, but now he's going to be pushing at the front, and he's got Armads behind as well. Extra pressure from the championship contender. And then you've got Doc in 4th place, who's just waiting to pick up any position that anyone throws away. Armaz is going to the inside. Kova manages to get the grip on the outside again. Oh, Armaz has binned it. How did that one happen? And he goes up on the curb. He's on the inside. It's going to be greasy there. Traction control kits in. This is definitely... Ooh, was that contact? It's very easy on the exit of that right-hander before he goes left to lose traction coming through there if you push it too hard. I think he's already lost it before he gets perhaps a little touch from Doc, but I think that was more on Ahmad's by himself on that one, so that is disappointing for him. He was onto a good set of points, so Shorker will be relieved. Now he's going to do it over again. What we saw from the sprint race, that it's not impossible for Ahmad to get that done. Oh, young Sappy's binned it as well. How did this one happen? We're coming into turn 1. We've got Kieran right behind him. Oh, he just misses his braking point way too much and sends it off. Easily done. I did exactly the same thing. Penultimate lap, leading the whole race, and then I had 2nd place Higgsy a few seconds behind, and I was too busy looking in my mirror. I missed my braking point and I went straight off. Give the position away. Absolutely gutted. But there you go. The man that didn't make any mistakes won on the end of the day. Oh, as he goes off again by himself. A little bit too much power on the exit of the corner. Manages to have enough time behind him though to rejoin without it being unsafe, but now Abmo's closed the gap quickly and overtaken as well. Then we've got Phil in 15th. Robbo's having a nightmare at the back in 16th place. He did so well in the sprint race, as it looked like Phil was having a little bit of a mare there as well. See he gets a tank slapper. Easily done. I think he's just riding a little bit too close to the dry line of the track to be able to put that much down, which is why his traction control's kicking in, and he's losing grip as he goes around again. Probably affected dirty tyres. Robbo gets back 15th position. Young Sappy's in 14th. We've got Abmo up into 13th. Juho's in 12th, closely behind. Oh, almost looked like he was going to go for a dive on the inside then against Tomo, who's in 11th. Armads is down to 12th after his little off as well. Then we've got Hadir, his countryman, now up to 8th place. Oh, was that Munkin? What happened there? Was this another snap on the... Oh, they get contact through there, and he just bumps him round off towards the pit lane. Can he get back on safely? It looks like he can, but he has lost positions, unfortunately. So Munkin's down into 10th. It looks like he might lose a couple more as well now. We've got Tomo and Juho fighting for positions. He manages to save one at least. Will he be able to get it back again? It doesn't look like he can this time round. Oh, and who is that? Robbo. It was. What happened to Robbo? Just decides not to brake and goes off to play in the sand. In fairness, he did say it went from bad to worse, so there it is, proof's in the pudding. It's a race to forget for Robbo. So Kova gets his first position back as well. So what happened to Reese in all of this? Because he was our race leader briefly. Oh, Reese goes all the way back down to 4th. We'll jump back forwards as soon as we've seen this one happen. So we're going to have perhaps a replica of Robbo coming into the first race. Oh, he gets onto the grass coming into the braking zone, and that just sends him on the outside. Absolutely no grip doing it that way, mate. And yeah, absolutely throws that lead away. Drops down to 4th place as a result. Will Munken be able to get that place back as well? He can't, but we see Munken loses that as well, so that's that one. Now, where were we? We were somewhere near there. That'll do for now. Does it look like there was actually a little bit of contact coming through there with these guys? No, it's Shulker. Shulker gets loose and cuts back in. A little bit of a slightly unsafe re-entry there, and a little bit of unavoidable contact as well. So Reese gets back up into 3rd. Manages to gap Shulker already. Chaos as well. Now looking to get 4th place. There's going to be 2 good results for Chaos. Doing an absolutely stellar job. Gets up to 4th position. Gets the move done before the corner comes along. Bracey's not far behind as well. Shulker just does not seem to be enjoying this race at all. We'll jump back to the cinematic view. There we go. Get where he was actually, wasn't it? So can Bracey make a move on our championship leader as well? Doesn't look like he can at the minute. A little bit of a gap managing to open up again. That's going to be great for Chaos. He's going to want to make as much move forwards as he possibly can. He's got a very quick Reese in front of him to try and close the gap to as well. And then in front of them we've got Doc and Cova pulling away a nice little gap by themselves. Perhaps opting to work together a little bit, and Reese is going off the track again, going super wide out of that exit. We've seen him do that a few times, really pushing that Porsche as much as he can. So let's jump up to the front and then we'll do a quick fuel check. We're a third of the way through the race, near enough. So we'll see Cover's used about a third of a tank, maybe a little bit more. Doc's about the same. Reese has managed to save a little bit more, so he's probably closer to an actual third than the first two, so he may be able to make the one-stop work. The McLaren is good on its fuel, and Chaos has managed to work that to his advantage, so he's pretty good as well. Not quite short shifting too much, but he is doing it. Oh, as Shulker goes super deep with Bracey, follows him through as well. Look how many places he's dropped in that. Was that 3 or 4 positions he's just dropped? Oh man, these guys will be kicking themselves about that. So we'll jump back up to see. So we were just done Chaos. So Hadir is doing pretty good on his fuel in the Audi. Ahmad's not so good with the thirsty V12 of the Aston Martin, so he's definitely going to have to stop. He can't make it to the end. Kieran also did a pretty good job in the other frugal McLaren. Then we've got Shulker's pretty much the same. Bracey's a little bit better in the 911. There is a good the 911 is actually the 991, isn't it? is pretty good on short shifting, although it does look like Bracey is taking it to the limit. Then we've got Juho, not too bad, might have to start short shifting a little bit more perhaps in the Mercedes. Then we've got Tomo is doing an absolutely stellar job. Look at that, he's got only just over a quarter of a tank use, so he's definitely able to make the fuel last. And look how many miles he's done. Nearly 9,000 miles in that. Well, he certainly likes the Audi then. Then we've got Munken, who's used quite a fair bit as well in the Ferrari, so we might see him have to come in. The newer Ferrari of Ammo, a little bit better. Phil also doing a pretty good job, and Robbo's done a really good job actually with his fuel usage, so he might be able to get a few positions back on the fuel if he doesn't have to pit, and those who do need to pit ahead of him should gain a little bit of time from that one. Then we've got young Sappi now down in 16th, and he's pushing it a little bit too much, I think, although he is short shifting, but his fuel usage has definitely suffered through the race as well. So, and see Kova now seems to have used an awful lot of fuel as Doc really comes through hard defending from Kova now, but I think he's going to have to pick his mark and stay there. Got enough of a gap to be able to do what he wants, pick his line, and there's not a lot Doc can do. As the overtaking car, Doc has got to be able to do this safely, and it is extremely difficult in the wet. He will be hoping that Kova makes a mistake. You can just see the traction control light is almost permanently on as he dives to the inside. Oh, that was so close. It looked like he got it done in time for the braking and turning zone though. He broke a little bit too heavy, but now he's got the slipstream and he comes out nice and early. But he's going to be on the wrong part of the track. Kova's going to be on the inside. Oh, and he gives the place away. Doc manages to outbrake Kova and takes the lead for the first time in this race. Oh, there's a drift around. Oh, and he just about manages to hang on to that one. Brilliant driving from Kova, hanging on to as much of the track as he could there. Keeps the second position. Just needs to settle down, calm himself, and get back on. We're halfway through his fuel, and he's not quite halfway through the race, so he is going to have to pit. So he could choose to burn a bit more fuel and try to catch up to Doc and close that gap, although Doc's on the same amount as well. So the pair of them both going to have to pit. They'll neutralise each other's race. Reese, however, has got a little bit more fuel. Whether or not it's enough to not have to pit anymore, I'm not too sure. He did have a significant amount more fuel earlier on. But the three of these at the front now, just managing everything nicely. Nothing too outlandish happening. But where it looks like it is happening is here with Armads and Chaos. And then who have we got behind Chaos as well? He's got his teammate Kieran with Bracey managing to get back up into 7th place from I think it was Munken or Shorker that he followed off earlier on at turn 1. So it's a good recovery from Bracey to get back up into 7th position. being very quick in the Porsche. And we've got Shorka in 8th. His teammate Munkin in 9th, quite a big gap. Juho in 10th now, who managed to get past Tomo and has created quite a big gap as well to Tomo. So I think Tomo must have spun off at some point during this race. The other Audi driver is in 12th. Ooh, just looked like he was about to go off then, but manages to hang on to it. Abmo is in 13th. Phil is in 14th. Young Sappy's in 15th, and Robbo's dropped it down to 16th again. So don't know what happened there. I should try and pay attention to the mini map in the top right a little bit more, as he looks like Robbo's going to go for a dive on the inside, on the outside, sorry, but doesn't manage to get it done. Will he get the cut back? He doesn't. But it definitely... Oh, we've got a yellow flag ahead. Who has gone? It's Hadir. What did he manage to do? Is he going to get... Oh, it just puts the power down a little bit too much, and he can't hang on. I think you can see the red light of the counter steer assist coming up on the Audi as well. There it goes, along with the traction control. All the aids working overtime in these wet conditions. Phil got a penalty for overtaking under a yellow flag? Did he? So there's a yellow flag ahead of him. The car he overtakes is the yellow flag, and then he gets a penalty for it. That's ridiculous. Another one that this game should not have. Well, not say this game. We should definitely cut out the flag rules in this league. We don't need to know that there's a yellow flag ahead. We can tell when there's people rejoining. And that's disappointing for Phil. He'd already had a bad race. He was doing his best to get some positions back, and he was doing a good job. And then to be smacked with a 3-second penalty for overtaking someone else who'd gone off, that's just unfair. But there you go. That is the game. So Hadir gets his place back. Abmo gets promoted up to 12th now, so he's having a good little race by himself. Just what he'd like. Tomo's in 11th. Juho's in 10th. We've got Munkard in 9th. Shorka's in 8th. Just a little bit up ahead of his teammate. Bracey's in 7th now. He did have a little bit of a gap to Kieran. It's about the same as it was earlier. So we're a little over the halfway mark now. Oh, wow. How did he manage to do that? What did he do? Just turn left on a right-hand bend. Oh, he's on the curb. Yeah, he's on the painted part of the curb. You put your foot down on that, you're just going to spin up. So that is unfortunate for Bracey. He was starting to make some recovery positions, and now he's dropped all the way back down to 9th. I think he'll manage to hang on to that one with enough space behind him. No one to blame but himself, so that is disappointing for him. He was doing really well. So Munkin and Shorka get a position for free. Then we've got Kieran in 6th place, who no longer has anyone behind him for quite a while, so a bit of breathing room so we can concentrate on trying to close that gap to Chaos, who was doing an absolutely brilliant job earlier on. He managed to gap a few positions, but seems to drop down into 5th position, but it's still a good solid position at the moment. Personal best rate lap on that last one. The 201 0.143, sorry. So what's that? 1.2 seconds of the fastest lap, although we have got much wetter conditions than we had earlier. The track did start to dry out a bit, so that's pretty good. And you can see the lap times, 203s, 202s, managing to get a couple of corners right, or found a better line maybe, and as well, it's given him an extra second or two, so that's a significant improvement for Chaos. That'll keep that up and he'll be able to close the gap to Reese in front of him, who is battling nice and hard with Ahmad's now in third position. What can Reese manage to do here? Trying to get back up into the podium position that he was in earlier in this race. Nothing too much at the minute. Ahmad's is absolutely romping away from him at the moment. So it's a great job from Ahmad's. Kova is still in a comfortable second position. He hasn't let Doc get away too far. Being clever with his tyres, helping them last by cooling them down on the straight, as the track does look to be drying out just a little bit again. I believe this was the second stint of a lower rain section. I think it was RO5 or RO6 at this point before it gets to a heavy wet end to the race again. So you can see the benefit already, although marginal. The front tyres of Doc's Toyota are starting to wear out quicker because he's not cooling the tyres down. Smart racing from Kova. Ahmad's slightly better, but the Aston Martin does have a very, very heavy front end. And look at the guy, he's going fastest now. Hadir managing to get a 1:58.0. That is quick. So I think for reference, I think my fastest lap was a 1:57.7. I think was thereabouts. That was my fastest lap. It wasn't the fastest lap of Tier 3, but that's pretty quick. I don't think any of these Tier 5 drivers are slouches by any means. I think it just goes to show that from sort of maybe the bottom end of Tier 3 all the way down to Tier 6, all these guys, the spread is pretty tight. So as we look forward to a new season starting in a few weeks' time, we've got the 1:57.4, so we smashed my lap. Yes, we've got the new season to look forward to. We may see a few people jumping up and down in the tiers, but it just goes to show you just how competitive it is in Aero League racing. So if you just happen to have stumbled across this stream by accident, or the YouTube algorithm has sent it your way, have a look at Aero League Racing on Discord and sign up for our Monday Night League. We've got GT3 racing as you see it here. Everybody's very welcome. Right, Right, let's jump up to these guys at the front. So the gap is pretty much the same between... as Kova just goes for a quick dip into the grass, manages to hang on to it, gets it back on the track. He will have dirty tyres for just a little bit, but it doesn't seem to really make too much difference in wet conditions, which is pretty handy. So you see the wet tyres of Doc now really starting to struggle with this one. I imagine we'll see all of these guys hang it out to the last possible minute to pit before getting fuel. And on that note, let's do a quick fuel check of everyone. So Doc and Kova pretty much the same. Well, in fact, Kova's used a bit more now. He was doing a much better earlier on. Ahmad's roughly the same as Kova in front of him. Reese is still doing the best out of those, so we'll see him make up quite a bit of time, probably at least the amount of gap that there is to Ahmad's in front of him. Then Chaos is not much worse in 5th place. Kieran, his teammate, is probably playing the smart game, sitting behind Chaos, letting Chaos do all the hard work and just short shifting a lot more and using the slip of his teammate to save his tyres, so when they do come into the pit lane, he will almost certainly get the jump on him. Then we've got Shulka, who's doing really well actually for his fuel. I think he's the best we've seen so far. Bracey's pretty much the same as Shulka behind as well. Munkin not able to make the 458 last on his fuel as good as he probably would have liked. Then we've got Juho doing a really good job in the AMG as well. May potentially be able to make it to the end of the race if he's careful. Although he is 7 seconds off the pace with that one, so I think he might need to go a little bit quicker than that. Then we've got Hadir with quarter of a tank left, so he's going to have to make a pit as well. Somo, who's got absolutely loads of fuel left, so he's definitely going to be fine. He might actually be fuel saving a little bit too much, perhaps, but he's obviously very conscious about it, so he's erring on the side of caution. Abmo's doing pretty good on fuel still. Phil's still doing really well on fuel as well. So we'll see these guys almost certainly be able to do the no stop. We'll make quite a lot of time back up. Whether or not it translates into positions, we will wait and see. He may come into the thick of it by the point he gets to the pit exit, whenever that happens. Then we've got Young Sappy, who's got a quarter of a tank left, so we're going to see him come into the pit lane, and Robbo at the back, just over a quarter of a tank, so we'll probably see him come in as well. I will say that Ferrari does suit the Liberty Walk livery that they've got on it. Does look very nice. So Doc is just about managing to pull away from Kova now. Kova's starting to struggle. Oh, so Robbo makes a no stop. Well, some heavy fuel saving from here on out then, I imagine. So we'll see how that pans out, if you manage to make any more positions before the end of the race. As we see, the red light has come on for Kova, so that gives 2 laps fuel warning. He did 1 lap over than everyone else. Right. So you're still on the same number of laps at the minute. It must definitely go from bad to worse then. The poor old Robbo. Keep an eye on that one. I mean, actually looks like you're just about coming up to get lap. The last lap was a 2:19, so yeah. Oh, and another one. Oh dear. So Robbo gets the blue flag. He doesn't necessarily have to move off the track, but he does, being very courteous to those coming through. Because I think if you are one of the front runners, then you ghost. I'm pretty sure you ghost as a lap driver, so you can just drive through them. Now we see Armaz has also got the fuel light on, so oh, Robbo. Oh man, what did she do? Steady on the throttle, gets it straightened up, powers on, onto the, just like Bracey did earlier on the curb, lights up the inside and just spins you around. We've all been there, so let's jump on with these guys. So we're at lap 18. We're probably going to start to see, maybe at the end of lap 19, we'll see a couple of people pit at least. And then we'll see this field really close back up again. What is Reese able to do with a little bit more fuel than Chaos? He'll be wanting to try and get that position back as quickly as he can. He definitely gets on the gas quite quickly, does Reese. You can see the ABS really kicking in an awful lot as we've got our first two drivers in. Oh wow! Absolutely spanks into the back of Chaos. Oh, way too much on the brakes. Then drives straight into the back of him. Waits up fair enough, and Chaos can't get it started anyway. Once he's opted to give that position back, gets it wrong and decides to go forwards. So there we go. So right, look at this. Look how much this has benefited Kieran. He was in 6th place. All of that happens. Everyone above him with only 4% of fuel left. Now if Kieran can keep this going, which it looks like he probably can, to the end of the race, that is a free podium position. And he might even get another one because Doc's got a pit as well. I cannot imagine that Doc is going to be able to keep that Toyota out. What's that, 4 laps, 3.5 laps left? Definitely no way. No way. There is a bit of a gap. Annoyingly we don't get the telemetry on a replay, but let's pick a point and do a quick count. So, right. About 14-15 seconds maybe that he's got as a lead, and I think the pit lane is somewhere between 16 and 20 seconds here, depending on how much fuel you take, maybe a little bit more. So Kieran could get a podium, a first place pole position for this race if he's careful with his tyres, with his fuel. However, he will have Armaz behind him, who is maybe overfueled a little bit, or maybe fueled a little bit just cautiously, so he can definitely nail it. as much as possible. Will we have to see Kieran come in? It's quite a big gap for Kieran. So Doc's in. So Kieran inherits the lead. It looks like he's about to come up to Robbo as well. So they swap positions. Doc's in second. Whether or not he is able to close the gap, because there's only a few seconds between them. But then Ahmad isn't far behind either. All of them with more fuel, so they're able to just try and push a little bit harder, not having to fuel save as much as Kieran will be. So this is really going to come down to the wire for Kieran. Then we've got Bracy now up into fifth. I think it looked like he may have gone for tyres as well. So Ahmad's opts not for tyres, not to get tyres. That saves him at least 3 seconds. Same for Kieran and Doc. They stay on their original wets. Cover's got fresh wets, hoping that might help him push a little bit more. Bracy's also got fresh boots. Reese has got fresh tyres and looks to have fueled a little bit less than everybody else, but just enough to get along. He has been pretty frugal in the 992. Chaos gets a fresh set of wets as well, and I can't remember if he fueled. Well, he must have fueled because he came into the pit. Juho now up into 8th place, having not pitted and not taken fuel, so he's definitely benefited from this one. Shulker's had to come into the pits. He's taken fresh tyres and a little dash of fuel as well. Then we've got Tomo, who's doing a really good job on fuel saving, so he's absolutely fine to get to the end and doesn't need to pit, so he's still on his original set of wets. Hadir has come into the pits as well, so you can see it all change in the mid-pack for these guys. And Abmo's, I think, can make it last as well on the fuel and his original tyres in 12th, and Phil is absolutely fine as well in 13th. Munkin has had to pit and has come all the way down to 14th now. So I think it's going to be a bit of an ask for Munkin to get back up to the sort of position he was in with just a few laps left to go, but you never know. He's had some pretty good pace this race so far. Young Sappi came in, I think, for fuel but no tyres, and then Robbo, as we now know, doesn't pit but is a lap down on half the grid thereabouts. So what can Kieran do? There's 2.5 laps left of the race, and his fuel's already on the red light, and it looks like it might be just a little bit too much. He might only have a lap left. We'll stick on with him at the minute and see if he can make it last, or if he pulls into the pit lane this time round. But with a little bit less fuel to have to take on board, and only a couple of laps left, he will have to take less, so his pit stop will be short. He sticks it out for another lap. This is going to be tight for him. Doc's in the background of his picture. I don't think there's anything he's going to be able to do about this. He's going to have to pit. We've got Doc trying his absolute best to close that gap. Only 0.3 at the minute off the pace in the pouring rain, so that's pretty good going. As we look at the time as well, 1:57.0 from Hadir. going even faster than Ahmad's did earlier. Really fast pace from these guys. Okay, so how far behind is Ahmad's? Is there probably a bit too much of a gap to make up there, unless Doc has a major mistake, but given his performance so far, I don't think it is likely for that one to happen. But this is still an absolutely brilliant point haul for Ahmad, getting third place. We've got Kova behind in fourth. He will have been wanting to do a little bit better, having been in the lead of the race for quite a while. But still a very good result, and points haul in fourth place. So long as nothing untoward happens so far. Bracey has done very well. He's had quite a couple, he's had 2 or 3 little off-track moments, and has managed to get himself back up into fifth place. As second place, Kieran, as Robbo goes off again, Kieran has to come into the pit. He had 1% of fuel left. Excuse me, that is so disappointing for him. And he loses his second place. So he gets undercut by both Kova and Ahmad's. Loses out massively. It looked like he was going to make such a gain earlier on in the race. With all that extra fuel saving. So we look at the times of these guys, all in the last few laps. 2:01, 2:01, 2:01. Kova 2 minute and 2:02, 2:02, and Kieran's he wasn't far off the pace, just the pit stops just really such a short splash of fuel really has cost him in the end. That is so disappointing for him. So we'll go up to our race leader now. It is Doc, having an absolutely brilliant drive in both races, fighting for positions, being massively competitive, not giving an inch when it mattered, and the fruits of his labour have given him well, as long as he doesn't bin it in the next couple of corners, has given him a victory. Probably not only one of the most difficult tracks anyway, but throw in a load of rain as well. Definitely the hardest race of the season. And he comes onto the start-finish straight, gives it a weave, flashes his lights, he takes the win. Ahmad comes in second place, celebrates across the line, as does Kova in third place. Kieran of the McLaren drivers comes in fourth place. That's a brilliant result for him. Bracey now coming through the final complex with Reese right hot on his tails, drifting around the last corner. Bracey gets a tank slapper. Who's going to get it? Oh! Wow, that was close. Bracey has this one. Reese gets in front of him. Oh, and it looked like there was, some kind of lag or something. That was a photo finish if I've ever seen one. So Bracey gets fifth place. Reese gets sixth place. Druid comes over in seventh place. We've got Juho in eighth. It's a great result for Juho. Schalke, our championship leader, disappointing race for him. Celebrates nonetheless in ninth place. Hadir gets the fastest lap point and 10th place as well. Then we've got Tomo now coming up to the start-finish straight with Abmo close behind, so 11th and 12th for these guys. Phil gets a good finish in 13th. Then we've got Munkin in 14th. Young Sappy comes up to cross the line of lap 23 in 15th place, and having been lapped already, Robbo has already come across the line behind the leader and is in 16th place. So here comes our final man across the checkered line, power sliding his way through, goes for a celebration 360, gets it done, and that is it for this race. Well done, everybody. So let's just quickly run through the standings as they were at the end of this race. So 2 9th positions for Schalke Boss, closes the gap up to Ahmad just behind him. So we've got Schalke hangs on to the lead with 207 points. Ahmad now closes the gap to 195 points, just 12 points behind the lead. So coming into the final race, it is all to play for. Then we've got Kieran, who had a brilliant result for both races, really extending his lead above 4th place, but closing the gap up perhaps a little bit too much. In fact, it is too much statistically to get into 2nd place, but with a solid 3rd position of 143 points. And then we've got 4th place with 106 points is Kova. Bendit, who wasn't able to race in this one, with 100 points. Juho is in 6th place with 98 points, just a few points behind again. The next two is Doc in 7th and Robbo in 8th. And then everyone else is a little bit further behind as well. So really coming down to the wire for the top 2 guys. So join me next time. I'll let you know as soon as I can when I'll be able to do that one, which is the final race at Yas Marina. And we'll look forward to doing that one. So thanks for joining along with me for these comms. We'll look forward to doing the next ones. And thanks for joining.